Hello there and welcome to devlog number 4, and this one is all about visuals. So, the thing I'm going for with this game is the visuals. I wanted to go with something a bit like Quake and the first one and Heretic 2, and both of them use an engine called idTech 2, which was the evolution of the Doom engine. And Doom, everything was kind of sprite based, and that one is more using brushes, as they call it. And brushes are basically just, as they define it, it's uh, convex cuboids. Another way to think about it is that everything that you can make is a cube, and you cannot have concave, like you cannot have pieces that are going into it. So if you want a piece that is going into it, you gotta put multiple cubes around it to make it look like it is. And how I'm emulating this in Unity is by just using ProBuilder and the grid system. If you turn on grid snapping, you can get a decent enough emulation of what that was supposed to be like, because everything was very grid based as well back then. So you that completely destroyed everything that was the wasn't the light map. Sorry, and you can get a very chunky look. It's not perfect. It's not a one-to-one emulation, but it still works very well. And another thing that I did for the visuals here, all textures are point filtered. All textures are also max 128 by 128. Sometimes it goes like I got this little thing here that allows me to see all the materials on Heretic 2, and sometimes, as you can see down here, they can go up to 200 and something, but the great majority of them is 128. Some and most of them are also 64 by 64, it's like half and half. So that's what I'm going for here. And another thing that I did, at least on the play thing here, is that I lowered the render scale to half, so it looks way more chunky without the need of any external post-processing filters and anything like that. And since it is like rendering less pixels, it runs a bit faster as well. And the character is still a placeholder. The fireball is still a placeholder, but it has a little light on it now. Just so if I have an environment with pre-baked lights, you can actually see it traveling through it. And another thing about the Attack 2 engine is that it had pre-baked lights, and I think it also had like some real-time lighting things, but mostly for the environment, everything was pre-baked. So I did the first reaction that actually does something is the explosion now. So if I throw the fireball at the air crystal, it explodes, and we got an opening. And I don't know if the AI is gonna chase me or not because that was incredibly buggy. But let's see. I think he's stuck. Hello? Yep, he's stuck. Not anymore. Let's go. So I can do the explosion damage on him. If I get caught in the radius, I take it as well. And it's a bit way too strong right now for what it is supposed to be, but it's working. And the other things don't have lights on it yet. I still have to put it on. Another thing that I did, every single texture here is AI generated. Everything was done with Stable Diffusion, including, well, not the player character, but the enemy character was doing some tests. Because a new thing just released is called, I think it's ControlNet, and it allows you to input an image that is like the guide layer for what you're going for. So you can get different like lines from the that specific glide layer and try to conform to that line to those lines to the forms of what you're expecting to happen. It's kind of weird to tell to like to describe it, but like I sent it the UV map for this little dude here, and I asked him to make like a royal guard outfit, and it has like the lines of the UV map going on, but it did try its best to make a little royal guard outfit, and I might use that in a bit more refined way in the future to actually make decent character textures. This was just a little test prototype thing, but all the environment things, the walls, the crystals, the floor, the roof, the ceiling, and this rubble piece here, everything is AI generated, and I'm planning on releasing them as a Creative Commons thing later on down the line. So anyone who wants to use them, they can as well. And I think that's it for it today. I don't know if I did anything else much further than that because I'm also working on a lot of other stuff. But this week should be a bit stronger in progress. So that's it. See ya.